That's the first time I've actually, like, been that short. Alright, here we go. Let's try this. I haven't gone a run past BBH yet, so, yeah. Oh, I guess I need to kill my 156 offset. Okay, cool. So first we're gonna watch this like intro cutscene. Very interesting. It's like 2 minutes long. We skip it in runs using what we call race file. So you basically watch the cutscene, you save, you quit, and you have a 0-star file. And we use that for runs. A good reason is there's a trick, like 10 seconds into this run, called moat skip. It's a 2-frame trick where you basically have to press A or B on a specific frame, but by taking your finger and basically rolling it across A and B or sliding it across A and B, you can hit A then B 1 frame after the other, and that makes it a 2-frame trick. Another cool piece of tech that you won't be able to really see is neutral tech. Basically, this game caps your airspeed, so when you're holding a direction. So if you hold neutral, which is not any direction, you basically just release the D-pad or circle pad. Grain will be playing with D-pad for extra precision, as this game is 8-directional, even if you use the circle pad, which means you only have 8 directions of movement. So basically, at the start here, he's going to be doing long jumps, which are usually the fastest method to travel in this game. But actually, every time he goes to long jump, he is going to release up and repress up. And what that does is it'll help him conserve some of the speed from the long jump longer while he's in the air. And it saves just a little bit of time every single time. You can also do basically any time you have a lot of speed and you want to keep it, you can go neutral for like a single jump or some other type of jump. You'll see it combined with kicking a lot later once we get to Mario. But for now, here is moat skip. Keep in mind it's a 2-frame trick, he might miss it. But it's actually free, so he won't. And just like that, we can walk through the moat and go through the basement door. So while we're here, we're going to go and ground pound these pillars, as we'll need the secret under the moat stage later. And then it also, we do not open the castle front door at all during the speedrun, so whenever we want to come to the basement, we have to come through this route. So ground pounding those pillars means we don't have to do moat skip every single time. And with that, it is our first stage, Lethal Lava Land. So this requires one of those no input long jumps. If you just try regular long jump, you won't be able to make it there. And so you have to land far enough on that platform that you can make it, but you can't overshoot it. So you have to land in the right spot and then do one of those no input long jumps. So in this game, after the 1, 3, 8, 12, 50, and 80, it's stars you grab, you will get text. So later on, you'll see that we route some 100 coins into those stars, and that'll allow us to skip some of the text. There's also a trick that you can do that will save like 10 seconds called SSL cancel. That could technically allow you to save like the 1-star text. But it's a frame perfect trick and the time saved isn't really worth it in 150 right now. So we do both volcano stars at the start here. And Green does a strat called Lava Bounce. So he will basically turn the camera when he enters the volcano to line up with the pole, and then he'll kind of just YOLO long jump. And he's looking for a specific texture to kind of tell him if he's in line with the pole, and you can miss it once, take lava damage, and land back on the pole. If you don't, you will die, and when you re-enter the stage, you will respawn right into the volcano. So a first try saves about 4 seconds, a death costs somewhere around 15 to 20 maybe, maybe 10 to 20, I don't know. So he will also select one of the volcano stars before entering the stage. Depending on what star you select before you enter the stage, different things will be different in the stage. In this aspect, the shell spawns on stars 5, 6, and 7, and it allows you to grab this red hot rolling log star a lot faster. So basically, the first part of this run is getting 8 stars, so we can open the 8-star door that blocks you from getting into the Goon Boss level, which is where we will unlock Mario. Now, Mario is the best player, he's the fastest player in the game. Actually, I will say the best player in the game. So we want to unlock Mario as fast as possible. Yoshi isn't necessarily slow, and you'll see some ways that he can be really fast later in the run. That was an interesting bonk. But for most stars, we want Mario. So we grab a bunch of fast basement stars as Yoshi, and then we will go unlock Mario once we have 8 of them. So here is our second stage, SSL. So another aspect of neutral that you'll see a lot is with slopes. So on that star, Grain slid down the slope to gain a bunch of speed, and then he actually went neutral and didn't hold a direction on the D-pad, so that when he jumped off the slope, he kept that speed. If you were to hold a direction, Yoshi would slow down, not dramatically. On that one, it would probably be visible. Another very helpful piece of movement is what we call fast slide kicks. It's kind of similar to silly kicks in the N64 version, and it helps us climb up slopes really fast. And basically, by pressing A to slide kick and then pressing B to roll out from the slide kick, you can land back on the slope. And if you do it fast enough, you will have enough speed that you can start another slide kick. And so you can slide kick all the way up the secret under the moat slide, actually. And so we also use that sliding from A to B movement. And you basically just slide from A to B, A to B, A to B, A to B, all while holding R. Which R itself has a kind of special property in that it helps you stick to slopes. I don't know why that works, but if you hold R on a slope, you won't immediately slide down it for a while, so that's cool. Okay, everyone applaud for the really cool shell SI strat. That saves a whole 3 seconds. Okay, so after Sunshine Isles, one of the new stages in 64DS, we are going to talk to Toad. This is not the only Toad we talk to. We talk to 3 more that give us Power Stars. This one doesn't give us a Power Star. Actually, technically, he gives us... You have to talk to him to get a Power Star. And we are going to be talking about that in great detail about 2 hours into the run. It's a Power Star that actually caused a new miscellaneous category to be formed called 149 Star, because that star is so awful, might be a good word to describe it. But basically, that Toad makes the rabbits appear. So in the shorter categories, any percent and 8-star of this game, you need those rabbits to do rabbit clips, similar to Mip's clip in that you use the bunny to get past the 30-star door, but also very different in the aspect that the bunnies are... There's a lot more bunnies, and they're in different places, and you use them to clip through walls, not doors. It's pretty interesting. We won't see any in this one. I think there was a strat with a Luigi rabbit clip to skip the 30-star door. That I think might be RTA viable. I don't know about that. But I don't think rabbit clips will be in 150 for a while. They're also double frame perfect, so they're not very friendly. But once you get the timing down, they're not too bad. Usually you can get them within 3 tries is pretty acceptable. But some days you just don't get them. Okay, so now we're Mario. So Mario cannot eat things like Yoshi can, but he is the only player who can wall kick in this game, and that makes him extremely powerful. He's also faster than... His running speed is faster than all the other characters. He does accelerate slower than Luigi, which is both a good thing in that you don't have to do no input long jumps as Mario, but also, I guess, a bad thing because you don't accelerate as fast. So our first big stage as Mario is Whomp's Fortress. This would be a good time to talk about charge strats. So this game introduces a run button and the Y button. And basically, if you don't press the Y button, Mario will walk very slowly. If you hold the Y button and run, he will run. And if you hold the Y button while standing in place, Mario will charge up a burst of speed that we call Y run. And the way this works is you have 30 frames on the ground, which all the important parts of this game run at 30 frames per second. So you get 1 full second on the ground of Y run before it runs out. And this is only when you're on the ground, basically only running. So whenever Grain is doing long jumps, that timer is not running out. If he's diving, it's not running out. Another mechanic here is a slow dive. Basically, he dives with a small enough amount of speed. And that way he doesn't bonk into that wall. So he actually holds back on the D-pad before diving there. If you don't do that, you will just bonk on the wall. Next up is our first 100 coin star. We do this star as star 12, so that we have a chance to skip the 12-star tech skip. It is also frame perfect. But again, you can mash A and B, you can try to time it and slide your finger from A to B. So, unlike the N64 version, there's this entire new section to Whomp's Fortress, and there's actually quite a lot of coins here. So we can take the Mega Mushroom around here. You can miss about 2 coins to do the optimal route here. And then we're going to do some more fast slide kicks, this time on a less steep slope, and make the cycle. Ooh. So missing this cycle is about 10 seconds. And then the rest of the star is just basic movement. And here is that 12-star text skip. If he gets it, you just won't see text. You did not get it. There was text there. So green's probably going to do shoot into the wild blue next, and then the star after that he's going to do is blast away the wall. And that star has a very interesting mechanic called pause clipping in it. So the way pause clipping works is when you pause the game, it will show a pause screen. And usually that pause screen features a very zoomed out camera angle. And the way objects are rendered in this game, if the camera is too far away from it, it unloads. And so by using a specific setup, green can get to a certain height and then ground pound, and he has enough speed and the right displacement from the cannon lid that in the frame that he pauses and unpauses, he can go through the cannon lid while it is unloaded before it loads back in. So, cool little fun fact, cannonless does not exist in this game because the star does not spawn until that chunk of the wall is broken off. We do, however, have owlless. But our owlless looks a good amount different, mostly because the cage is kind of a cage. It's really just a floating island. So this game introduces a few new types of stars. One of them is silver stars, which you saw in Sunshine Isles. Another is switch stars. So these switch stars, basically you hit a switch, and then you have a certain amount of time to get to the star. Now, as speedrunners, this rarely ever causes a problem. For example, on this switch star, the timer is so long, you can defeat Womp King and make it to the switch star before the timer runs out. But there are other switch stars where you need Wario for a lot of them. And in categories like 50 star or 80 star, we want to do like glitches during the switch timer. That's when it can get a little tight. So we'll see one of those in BBH where we do a glitch to get the switch. Getting the star isn't too bad, but it is a very tight timer. So if you accidentally hug a wall or something, it can give you some trouble. The next stage is the first Bowser stage. This is Bowser in the Dark World. Grain is going through a cycle here called Samosa. Saves about 4 seconds. He also forgot to enter Wing Cap. Wow. What a bad player Grain is. And he got it. Easy peasy. This is one of the big movement stars in the game. A highlight is that slide kick, wall kick he did. Actually, he did not forget to go into Wing Cap. Green is very smart. You go into Wing Cap after Dark World. Good job, Green. And here's another cool piece of neutral tech. Very cool. And now the Wing Cap stage. So this is pretty similar to N64's. The flying is definitely a lot different. I wouldn't say you have more control. It's hard to explain how they're different between games. What is easy to explain the difference of is this tech skip right here. So in the N64 version, you want to jump off this switch as soon as you step on it. In this version, you actually have to wait about a second before jumping off of it. And you can skip the question mark text that pops up there usually. Now we are heading into Bob-omb Battlefield, what is usually the first stage of the game. So of course the text tells you, oh no, where is Mario? Because you're not supposed to be able to do any other star before entering Bob-omb Battlefield. Little do they know that we can not only access the entire basement, we can get at least one castle secret star in Battle Fort as Yoshi. And with that one castle secret star, you can get, you know, so many other stars. I just had a seizure. I don't know what I'm doing. Green will not do that. So, funny quirk of the Bob-omb fight here. If you step too close to his original position, he will just turn around and run around you and be very annoying. So you have to be very careful when grabbing him that first time to make sure he doesn't do that. This is an awful fight. Okay, the next star we have here is a Koopa the Quick Race. So before pause clips, this star was, I guess, a little more interesting in that you would finish the race, unlock the cannon, and then still make it back to the top of the mountain before Koopa the Quick got there. This stage is another stage where you can use pause clips, and so we'll see those about 80 stars in this stage. For now, we're just gonna finish the race, and then since we don't have to unlock the cannon, we're gonna do some rubber banding here. So by standing as far away from Koopa the Quick as possible, Koopa the Quick will go faster trying to catch up to us, even though we've already finished the race. This saves actually like 2 seconds or something. So you literally just run around in circles and save time. This would be a good time for donations or whatever. Okay, so the next star we're gonna do is Mario Wings to the Sky, or B.O.B. Secrets. This is actually the first pause clip. You don't have to wait 80 stars in. So you cannot grab all 5 in one straight cannon shot, so you actually have to do a turnaround at the end here. It's a little finicky. And it actually saves, like, a lot of time. It saves, like, 8 seconds or something. And then just glide down into the star. So the next star is B.O.B. Silvers. I guess I can go over how silver stars work a little better. Basically, a lot of them will just be sitting there. You can basically see where they all are on the minimap. But mostly they're just sitting in the area, or they're inside enemies. So here's one inside an enemy. For the ones inside enemies, once they are freed from the enemy, they will bounce around. As long as you are not close to them, they will bounce towards you. Once you are close enough to them, they will bounce away from you. This will be very important in Tick-Tock Clock. Another 2 hours later in the run. For now, he basically just wants to stand a little bit away from it, and then once it is able to be grabbed, he will basically long jump or kick, any combination of those into it. The fence at the end of that level is also a little weird, in that your long jump like barely clears it. So next we will climb back up this mountain to fight King Babam again. And there's nothing too special about this fight, so another good time to do donations. Okay, the next stage here is Battle Fort. This is another one of those Silver Star stages. The check at the start of this stage is RNG. If you do the stage optimally, it doesn't matter. But if you do some other strats at the start here, the RNG does matter. But here he will simply break some boxes, reveal some secret stars, kill some enemies and do the same, and be on his way. You can fit another dono in here. Okay, this next star is Courtyard Booze. This star sucks because these boos suck. Basically, the basics of the boo is you look at it, it turns invisible, you cannot hit it. You don't look at it, it turns visible, you can hit it. It's not that simple. Sometimes you can try to hit a boo, not hit a boo, and then it will be completely visible when you hit it again, and it will get knocked back, but not die. But it can still hit you. It's very interesting and very bad and not fun. Green gets through it. Next is Mansion Wall Jumps. So there's actually nothing too special going on here. It's just switching between up and upright on the D-pad at the right time. And there's a little quirk in this game called a direction reset. So he's probably done it a few times already, but instead of having to, for example, when you're standing on the ground, if you have 0 speed and you press a direction, Mario will instantly face that direction. The same thing works in the air. If you have 0 speed in the air and you hit a direction, Mario will start going in that direction. I think that's what happens with those long wall jumps. I'm not completely sure. but it just so happens that we are able to wall jump up some 135-degree angles in this game. Next up we have BBH switch. This is that star I talked about earlier with the somewhat tight switch timer. So we will do another one of those camera unloading tricks. This is not a pause clip, but it is a first person clip. So by positioning the camera correctly, you can unload the block and clip through it. And now Green will have to move a little faster. If he bonks, it is very hard, not almost impossible, but very hard to recover this. Another cool difference of this game from the original is you do not have to kill the boo every time you want to go back into Big Boo's haunt. So another quirk to these boos is that they move as fast as you. If you move fast, they move fast. And so we'll do a manip in the last room of this star. Not the last room, but the last room with small boos. Where we will use specific movement to lower the two boos, not out of the painting, but within reach. You'll see what I mean later. So here is that manip. Very good. So, fun fact, if you enter or exit, I guess I should say, a door before one of those boo text boxes show up, you cannot grab this star. It's actually just not possible. You have to go get another star. If you re-enter the room, the text box won't show up. And you need all of the text boxes to show up before the big boo will appear. So the next star here is merry-go-round. We're going to do something interesting here with the way we kill the boos. And we're going to try to grab this basically coinless. So every coin you grab loses 1 frame when the coins tick up at the end of a mission. So Grain is going to kick these boos, and then he's going to move over to the other side and kick them again. And the entire time here he's trying to avoid grabbing a pile of blue coins in the corner. Very good. And the last star we will be grabbing in BBH, not the last thing we'll do in BBH, is Secret of the Haunted Books. We call this star Bookless. And just watch. I don't know how this works or why it works, but it does. Yep. So usually you have to hit the 3 books in the middle, right, left pattern, but you can just kind of crouch for a little bit with enough speed, hold left, and long jump straight through the bookcase. Totally normal. So the last thing we're going to do in BBH is we are going to get the Luigi key.
Hey Jeffrey, we're going to Lost Row House. You interested?
I just ate.
Okay. Love you, buddy.
Love you too. So in this stage, there's a bunch of doors. Casually, you just walk through doors and try to memorize the correct pattern. Obviously, we know the correct pattern. It's kind of funny that it's right, left, right, left. And then we'll just make our way to this suspicious hole. This is a good time for more donations. This fight's kind of boring. So here, Green is going to hit save and quit, and then he's actually going to soft reset. So you don't actually have to wait for the game saves pretty fast. As long as you don't soft reset immediately after hitting the save and quit button, your game will save. And he basically does this so that he can skip the key grab animation at the very end, and it also allows for faster movement to this secret under the moat level. This is probably the most basic use of neutral tech, sliding down a very big slope, letting go of up, jumping, and then the kick locks your speed, so it guarantees that you will keep all of your speed until you land. There is nothing you can do about it except like hit a wall or something, or the ground. He also attempted what is known as dive pause clip. Same as the other pause clips, except you do it as a dive. So you'll see something, some very interesting castle movement here. Green is going to open the 30-star door, enter Dire Dire Docks, exit Dire Dire Docks, go unlock Luigi, and then come back to Dire Dire Docks. You might say, why not just go grab Luigi and then come here? Well, only Mario can open the star doors in this game. So you need Mario to open the star door, but then Luigi swims really fast, so then you have to go unlock Luigi and bring them back to the swim really fast level. So here we go. L so big it had to come out of the L door. Luigi. So every casual player of this game ever is like, Luigi's backflip is so good. It covers all the big gaps. His backflip is also very slow in that it takes a long time for him to hit the ground after you start it. So we really care about Luigi's swim speed, very rarely his backflip, and his ability to run on water. So Luigi is very good for water stages. Other than that, we would rather use Mario. But another thing about water stages is they can be kind of boring with not much to explain. So we're going to start with 100 coin star here, that way we don't drown, because we enter this stage with 4 pieces of damage, so half health. And it's really just some good swimming, so this is a great time for more donations. I don't know why I'm grabbing so many coins. This is where we remind Grain to select star 3 so we can do Manta Ray. So with DDD, we want to grab the substar last, because once you grab the substar, the painting moves a good amount away, and it takes a few more seconds to enter it each time. And one of the stars we want to grab is this Manta Star, which doesn't spawn on star 1, but spawns on every other star. So it's another star where you need to select a specific star to get the star you want. The wings in this game still don't work. They're really bad hitboxes. The game still does not know how to count to 5 correctly. And on this next star, we will see Luigi's special ability. So all 4 characters in this game have special abilities. Yoshi gets fire he can spit out of his mouth. Mario has a big balloon. Luigi has invisibility. And Wario has metal cap. And we will use Luigi's invisibility to go through this special type of mesh cage. This cage is literally just, you know, an invisibility only cage. So this version of the game, unlike the N64 version, only has 3 chests instead of 4. The 3rd chest is just gone. You don't need to get it because it's not there. Another small difference between versions. And now we will grab that last star in DDD, the sub-star. And unlike the N64 version where you would do front sub, we are going to do side sub. And this utilizes that property of holding R, allowing you to stick to slopes a little bit. And with some finesse, we can get a little bit of speed to do some fast slide kicks with a delayed jump. And there it is. I just golded by 6 seconds. Okay, next up is Fire Sea. So here there are 2 cycles to keep in mind. And one is a universal cycle, and those are the platform and flame shooters. The other is the elevator cycle, which is a camera-based cycle. So the camera-based cycle, if it's on camera, it moves. If it's not on camera, it doesn't move. So that's why Grain waits for this specific moment to turn the camera. That way the cycle is where he wants it when he gets to it. And that's that big platform he is about to touch right now. And he basically makes sure that that platform reaches its maximum height when he wants it to. And then this whole section is the universal cycle. So as soon as you enter the level, this cycle starts. You want to go fast. The faster if you go fast, on the way back through this section, when getting the switch star, it's a lot more friendly. Grain hit a frame perfect triple jump there, where he did not change direction. So there's the red star, and now he will go back through. He long jumps off at a specific point to land on the center of that platform. He is really feeling like resetting his run, because this what happens way too many times. And then he'll just long jump onto this edge here. And lava bounce straight into the toilet. Or the funnel. Whatever you want to call it. And you can actually grab Bowser before he hits the platform here and make an absolute joke of this fight. Pretty fun. It's not too hard either. You just hit the L button to center the camera, long jump, side flip, and time a grab. And with that key, we can go upstairs. So Green will be entering Wet Dry World here, and he's going to start with the 100 coin star. This star has some RNG with the boxes, and another thing that makes Luigi very bad is that the pause clip setup we use for every other character that we call the buffered backflip pause clip setup does not work for Luigi. So while you can still get a pause clip first try with a side flip, if you miss the initial side flip pause clip as Luigi, you have to do a backflip, time the ground pound frame perfectly or within a 2-frame window, and then get the frame perfect pause clip. It also doesn't help that you have to pause and unpause 1 frame earlier for this block than every other block in the game. Just a weird way the camera works. So this is easily one of the worst pause clips across any category. And now he will run around the town here, collect 8 red coins and the rest of the yellow coins he needs for the 100 coin star. And with that, we can read some donations. I think Green likes to do a quick race next, so I will change my usual star order to fit the commentary. So at the start of the stage, we do another camera manip. Basically, that enemy doesn't move, well, at least not on screen, so that's why we turn the camera there to make sure he's in the right spot. And then we do this pause clip again to get out of bounds, and then we will hit this pretty much paper thin loading trigger. If you go through this loading trigger too fast, you will hit the other side of the trigger and actually unload the town right after you load it. And then we will basically come right back in bounds and skip that invisibility fence. So the next two stars make use of Luigi's ability to run on water. And so we will enter the top water level of this painting. And once the platform goes down, we will start running on the water. And it's hard to see, but Grain is actually spamming the up on the D-pad at the very end of that. Basically, by spamming up, you will continue to run on the water instead of just falling in, because Luigi will do that after a long enough time. And so, basically, spamming up gives you just enough oomph to make it onto that elevator platform. And then he will simply repeat that for the other star. So, while you're painting, you guessed it, we're about to go get the Wario key. Thing to mention about these character stages is that we actually go into all three of them twice. The reason for that is there are reds and another star. It varies per character unlock course in each stage. In this stage, we can actually grab the reds as Luigi. In the other stages, we come back to them later. In the Mario painting, we need Luigi for one of the reds. And then Wario makes grabbing another one of them faster. And in the Luigi painting, you need Luigi for a star behind the painting, and Wario for one of the reds. But while we're here as Luigi, we can grab this Red's star, and then we will come in here later to grab the star that requires Wario. So this is the Chief Chili fight. You basically lure him to the edge and then ground pound him off, and then he will hop around the sides, knocking them off, and come at you again. So we just wait at a side, let him run towards us, and then bait him into just doing the job for us, really. And then for this last hit, we will use Y charge to help us get back from the edge to the center, which is where the key spawns. That power flower is actually not necessary to enter the stage, it just happens to be in the way sometimes. Here comes a sign jump. The cool thing about this one is you can back it up with a backflip if you miss it. And then we will enter the igloo. There's actually a clip called Igloo Clip that saves a little bit of time. I don't know how it works or, you know, how consistent or inconsistent it is. I've done it once on like accident, and that's it. So this star requires Luigi, so we'll grab it now. But we'll come back to this star stage later, as it requires Yoshi for one of the stars, and we'll grab the rest of them then. So for now we will exit and go to another stage that Luigi is good for, and that is the other water stage, JRB, Jolly Roger Bay. So in this stage, Star 1 has the sub. After Star 1, the sub will be raised, and we need a raised sub to do the 100 and reds stars. And if you noticed our star count right now, we are at 48 stars. At 50 stars, we will get another one of those text boxes. And so by getting the ship star first, and then hundreds and reds after that, we get another chance to skip some text boxes. This is another good time for donations. It's going to be a lot of swimming here. Okay, I'm going to interrupt you this one time. The clam on the bottom right of his screen right now is another one of those on-camera cycles. So he's going to keep it on camera for just a bit. That way when he comes around here this second time, it will open up exactly when he wants it to. Just like that. And the rest of the stage is just swimming and some more basic movement. Yeah. I didn't pay attention to coin count. Oh, I got one. That's the second tech skip I've ever gotten in like 13 or so runs of this game. Of this category. So one more interesting tidbit about swimming in this game is that you actually swim faster at a slight downward angle than you do at a straight downward angle. So Green crashed the shell there, but had he not crashed the shell, he would have done this star next, and he would have actually gone off the shell a little in front of the ship. That way he could swim at a slight downward angle instead of a straight downward angle. Again? I don't know how to back that up if I do it again. Now, there's one last star in JOB. We will not grab that on this trip to JOB. We will do a completely separate trip to JOB in the future, and that's because that star requires Wario. In this version of the game, the jet stream is too powerful. We cannot just swim straight through it, not even with Luigi's swim speed. So we will come back, not actually as Wario, but as Yoshi to do that star. But before we leave this room, we are going to get this secret aquarium, which is more swimming, and then we will get to the Wario segment. This is actually going to be a 104 Wario. Not too bad. Okay, I need you guys to pay a lot of attention on this Wario segment. So he's gonna go through the door, and it has started. So this game has 3.5 characters. The half character is Wario because that's it. He's gone. That is the entire Wario segment for the entire run. So you have to go through the character door and go through that text box thingy for Wario caps to start appearing. And we do need Wario caps to get through some black bricks and use the metal cap in places. But Wario is extremely slow, and it turns out that picking up signs and breaking black bricks is really all he's good for. He can also send enemies like halfway across the map, but that's usually a bad thing. So we just put him in timeout. On the bright side, he is responsible for absolutely none of our time loss. So now that we're back to Yoshi, we can use caps. So since we've unlocked all 3 characters, we can use all 3 caps. And this allows you to go into stages that might require a few different characters to grab certain things and get them all in one trip. Now, in THI, we used to do this entire stage as Mario, because it turns out you don't need Luigi or Wario for anything here. So, why do we do it as Yoshi now? And I will not spoil it. So green might go for a strat here called THI slide kicks. He will definitely go for it in Wiggler, if not here. And he'll basically just climb up the side of a mountain with those fast slide kicks. Observe. Observe. Those slide kicks save less than a second over going around the regular way. And are a good amount harder. Granted, you don't have to worry about the chuck ya. And like I said, you have to do them for the Wiggler start anyway, which Green will be doing now. Thought I failed him. Those were some sketch slide kicks. Okay, so this Wiggler is a pro gamer. You have to hit him on the head, but he can dodge you very well sometimes. And sometimes you hit him on the head, and he just doesn't take the hit. You can also, after hitting him, get some really cool emote-worthy collision, where you will be inside Wiggler's head during the text box. But it is very easy to get bullied by Wiggler in this fight. Grain won't do it, because he's good at this game. So this is where we say, good job, Grain. Yay! You're doing so good, Grain. You're like 3 minutes ahead of the space. And now we're going to do THI hundreds. This is a very interesting star, and you are about to see why. So we're going to start off by grabbing Goomba coins. If you ground pound these Goombas, they give you blue coins. If you jump on them, they give you yellow coins. Yellow coins are worth 1. Blue coins are worth 5. So you definitely want to ground pound these guys. So that's a cool combination of fast slide kicks, that sticking to the slope with R to get a jump, as well as a neutral dive to be able to wall kick off that wall, and then turning around, jumping, and making it back. So fun fact, you actually need the Mario cap for Koopa the Quick Stars. Koopa the Quick will only race Mario. I don't know what his deal with Mario is, but he only likes Mario. So if you lose the Mario cap, you actually lose a lot of time, because you have to get the Mario cap back before Koopa Quick will give you the star. And we are about to see our first star cancel of the run. Yes, that is right. Grain is going to enter this pipe with the star. And he gets it. Thankfully, because if he didn't, that would be really bad. So, by entering a loading zone with the star, Grain can collect the star without exiting the course. If he missed that, he would have lost a minute, and he would have had to pull out the old 100 coin route. And he wouldn't have been able to show off this cool egg combo. because the old 100 coin route is made for Mario. I might be out of PBF these. And now we will make sure we do not die in the cave. This is maybe like one of the, if not the biggest time loss you could possibly have in a run, is dying in this cave. And that is THI hundreds plus THI reds plus THI Koopa race, all in one painting trip. That is the only time we will grab that many stars in one painting trip. But it is not the only star cancel in the run. For example, we're going to do one on this star right here. So Grain might go for this triple jump star grab. If not, he will do an easier star grab. And then he is going to jump off the ledge here with the star in his mouth. And it basically skips the star grab cutscene thing, where it asks you to save and everything. So fun fact, holding L coming out of that painting gives you that really nice camera angle. If you don't do that, you have a really bad camera angle, and it's just that simple. I'm on PvP, so oh my gosh. So right after a little bit after THI, ooh, that is bad. I really hope I can get some of those back. So right after, or a few stars after THI hundreds, we have TTM hundreds. So Green will be grabbing almost all of these red coins, as well as some other coins. I learned that, okay, I was like, I learned that back up from Samus, and then I wasn't able to pull it off the way I thought it happened. And then he will enter the slide. Now hopefully he doesn't miss too many coins in the slide, because when he pops out of the slide on the other side, he will enter one of those invisibility cages that you are not supposed to be able to get out of. So far so good. I need to start doing this with a slide kick. Okay, so you're not supposed to get out of this cage. Green didn't miss too many coins. But you can actually run to this corner here, adjust your position to a touchscreen visual cue, and clip out of this cage. Even though you were right next to that star. It's kind of tragic that you were so close to that star and just couldn't grab it. So the old route actually used to grab that star. But we're going to do something very cool. Maybe you've seen something like it before. So Green's going to get that 100 coin star, spawn the red star, grab the red star. Oh, what's this? Oh, another star cancel. So by doing this, he will skip that you got a star, would you like to save menu? And it turns out the last loading zone was that slide loading zone. So, like I said, very long time, over an hour ago, with that lava bounce strat in the first, one of the first stars we got. If he were to have died in the volcano and re-entered the painting, he would have respawned in the volcano sub-area. So, when you cross sub-areas, the game kind of remembers that, and when you enter back through the painting, you re-enter that sub-area. As long as you didn't, exit the course with like a star or something, But we didn't exit the course with a star. The game thought we died. So we just kind of respawn back in that room, grab the star, and go on our way. And now we have a nice 69 stars. So here's another pause clip. And we're going to follow it off with a cannon shot. This star used to be absolutely terrible without the cannon. You had to do a triple jump off of a sign, and then a triple jump onto the snowman's like chin or something. Not his chin, the area below his chin, I guess. And jump off and try to skip the text by that you would get when the penguin walks on him. Very not friendly star. As soon as that pause clip was possible, it becomes maybe the easiest star in the entire run. I guess the toad stars are technically easier. So this star is Yoshi's ice sculpture, and this is where we're going to see Yoshi's power up. In fact, it is the only place we're going to use Yoshi's power up, and you have to use Yoshi's power up for it because this star does not exist until this block is unfrozen. So it may look like the star exists, but that star is intangible. You cannot grab it, even if you were to clip inside that block. Now, Mario may be the fastest character in the game, but every time you select a cap, there's about a 1.5 second animation to put the cap on at the start of the level. So, for all of these stars, it's actually faster to do them as Yoshi than wait for that 1.5 second cap animation. So, this is another Silver Stars mission. They're all sitting in place. There's a really cool thing we're going to do here called Shell Hyperspeed. So basically, if you go down a slope the right way, basically just with a slight, slant, I guess you could say, you get a lot of speed on that shell. Oh, this is scary. Please don't crash the shell. And that gets you a lot of speed. And with good movement, you can collect the silver stars and then press the R button to get off the shell right under the silver star or the gold star. And that actually allows you to collect it, because it increases your hitbox a little bit upwards. Maybe that's how it works. I just perform the tricks. I only know how they work if it helps me perform them more consistently. Okay, so this is the first 100 coin star where we do it as Yoshi because of egg combos. Basically, these money bags have 5 coins if you kill them, But if you make an egg out of them and then throw them at things, they will drop. Everything it hits will drop the 5 coins of the money bag on top of how many coins it already drops. So these spindrifts drop 3 coins. So you get, by hitting both spindrifts, because the snowman doesn't drop extra coins, you get an extra 10 coins. Or actually 5, because 5 of them were the initial money bag coins. And so you'll see more of these egg combos here. And a lot of these egg combos don't actually give you more coins than you'd usually get, but it centers the coins all in one place, making them faster to grab. Green did not mean to bounce off of that. In fact, he didn't bounce off of it because Green is too good at this game to do such a bad mistake. Right, Green? He's also, like, really good on coin count. How'd that happen? He's also getting bullied because he sucks at the game. Wow, that RNG was bad. Oh my gosh. Okay. So, we need to go back into Chief Chili Challenge, now that we can get a warrior cap in the stage. But we don't have the invisibility flowers, so we're gonna have to, you know, just not care and do Yoshi Mirror Clip. It never takes me this many tries to do this trick. Oh my gosh, turned into green. Okay. And while we're behind the mirror, we're gonna grab this star behind the mirror. So if you have a copy of this game with 29 castle secret stars and you're trying to figure out which one you missed, make sure you're keeping track of all the ones we grab. So, not so fun fact, if you quote-unquote die in this stage, you more so void out, you don't lose a life. You have to redo that Yoshi Mirror Clip, so it can be a little scary. That mirror clip is also frame perfect. So you basically hold up, run into the corner at a specific angle, and then right after you long jump, you release up, as long as you have enough running speed. And if you release up on the right frame, you will clip through. So the next star is BOB hundreds. We will select star 4 here, which is that King Babam rematch, because it has some extra coins in the level. And the reason we do this as Yoshi is because of his egg combos. So this first one, nothing too special, just allows you to hit multiple enemies at once. Doesn't drop, I think it drops maybe 1 extra coin. But it's this second one that's important. So the Koopa Troopa is worth 5 coins. He drops a blue coin. So, hit everybody with the Koopa Troopa egg, and they will all drop blue coins. That's a lot of coins. Shoutouts to the Sky High Chomp. And then Grain will line up this cannon shot to grab the red and make it to the other side. Not too precise. And we will finish out the rest of this star with a Mario cap so that we can break some blocks. Now, I don't think we have used the Mega Mushroom yet, but at the end of this, we're gonna get a Mega Mushroom. And it's pretty self-explanatory. With the Mega Mushroom, you can break some... You can run over posts. You can basically have Wario powers, but fast. So Wario can, I believe, pound posts in one hit. He can break, the black bricks. The Mega Mushroom can do all of that as well. Except all the Mega Mushroom has to do is walk into these posts and they just disappear. You'll also notice our star count just hit 80 while spawning both stars at the same time, so Green gets another shot at one of those tech skips. They don't exist, he doesn't get it. I would have golded if I got first try Miro clip. And with that, we are done in Bob-omb Battlefield and are headed into Cool Mountain. Since Green likes to do reds first, I will do reds first. So the reason we come into this stage as Yoshi is partially because, we kind of want the cap for the Switch Star, but you actually need Yoshi for the red star here. One of the maybe 2 stars in the game that requires you to be Yoshi to get. The other being that Yoshi Power Flower, fire blow the ice block up level in Snowman's Land. This also requires Yoshi's tongue and ability to have a very spicy fire belly to get 2 red coins. So unlike the star in Snowman's Land, I believe both of these coins, I know at least one of them, is actually tangible. So if you can clip into those blocks, you can actually get those coins. So I think it's possible to grab this star without Yoshi, with some shell hyperspeed. Tool assisted. It is not possible in real time, as the inputs are very precise to control the massive amount of speed you need on the shell. I don't remember if only one of the coins is tangible or if both are. I don't know if Grain's going to go for the slide skip or not. Okay, it looks like Grain is lining up for Lil Penguin Lost. So basically, this mom is weird. Sometimes she can't recognize her own baby. If you ground pound too early, she will not recognize her own baby, even though it is sitting right in front of her. And you will have to pick up the baby penguin, walk out of her interaction radius, and back in for her to go, oh wait, that was my baby. So now we will grab CCM hundreds. This star, you actually do need to make sure you grab enough coins. That was close. on the slide. Green is going to do 25 coin route, which means he can miss 2 coins on the slide without losing about a minute. So there's a blue coin that'll bounce on this slide at the very start, and by charging Y and just running straight onto the slope, you can grab it every single time. So Gray needs 52 at this point. He has 53. The rest of the coins are pretty good. He shouldn't miss any. And the star spawns there. Now there's an interesting mechanic to this 100 grab in other categories. In that Mario will instantly start sliding after that grab. And so instead of having to time a tech skip, if that's like your 12th star, for example, then you just get tech skip. You don't even have to time it because the sliding animation will interrupt the text box. But in this category, it is in the 80s, so it doesn't matter. So Green just long jumps off the edge there, and using the weird mechanics of this game, he's able to reverse direction and go back. So that jump is a little scary. Once you learn a setup for it, it can become a lot more consistent, but sometimes Mario just doesn't turn around if you don't do it right, and it's can make you a little mad sometimes. But with enough practice, it's not too bad. And here is CCM Switch. This is actually a really cool star in not 150 because we get it as Mario. But since we have Wario, it's faster just to grab it as Wario. But that's a really cool star in other categories because you have to hit the switch, and then before the switch runs out, clip out of bounds, wall kick on a wall while out of bounds, and dive into the place with the star. Now Green's going to do something very sketchy here. He's actually going to go around like the stage a weird way. So basically for this star you need to hit a checkpoint, which is around this tree here, and then another one by the actual snowman's head, and that's all you need to do. This route allows you to do the star coinless. It saves like 5 frames, but if you do something bad, then you can just, you know, miss the first checkpoint, and the head will go right past the body, and you will have to die and try again. I'm so close to PB pace. Like 2 seconds off. So Green's going to do another one of those save warps here. He's going to hit save and quit and then soft reset. That saves time on castle movement because we are going to the basement. But first we're going to catch a few bunnies. This is to prepare for a trick later in the run called RNG Manip. We'll explain it more once we get there, which isn't for another... it's at 111 stars. I'm like a math major, but subtraction can be hard sometimes. So just give me like a solid, you know, few seconds to calculate that it's like 22 more stars. Green will not have this much trouble with the bunnies, I promise you. At least I hope not. So for the RNG manip to work, we have to catch 4 bunnies. These 4 specific bunnies that we are going to catch. Not so fun fact, if you hit the save and play minigames, you'll be taken to the minigame screen, and when you exit, you will go back to that room where we talk to the toad. Very unfortunate if that happens. So Grain will probably pause just a little bit to make sure he actually does scroll all the way down to continue don't save, as saving does lose time. And we are going to head to HMC. But before we go into HMC, we're going to grab a Toad Star. This is the second, it's really the first Toad Star, but we're going to grab it as the second Toad Star. And we're going to do another one of those star cancels. This is the easiest star cancel in the game. You can do it on your DS at home. It's just like that. You just jump backwards and eat the star while we're going into the stage. Next star is HMC Reds. This is a really cool star when it goes right. It's also one of the harder stars in the run. That cycle's pretty forgiving. But here, Grain's going to do a long jump ledge grab. So, he doesn't want... Oh, I need to die. Okay, I missed it anyway. So, long jump ledge grabs are semi-precise. Grain's going to want to wiggle the D-pad a little bit. Oh my gosh. Stop being cringe. Oh my gosh. And then this triple jump after is also pretty precise. You can barely make it. Little known fact about triple jumps. Oh my, you can overshoot that? Wow, Grain is molding. So if you walk on the ground for a little bit after touching the ground, so after you double jump, you can either triple jump immediately, or for a few frames you can run on the ground a little bit. If you do that run on the ground a little bit, you can get a higher, farther triple jump. And so you have to do that, and then you have to line up the triple jump well, just to be able to ledge grab there. That intentional damage strat has been coming in clutch. Oh, that's cringe. Next up is HMC Hundreds. This star has probably the biggest time loss in the entire run in it, in that you use the warrior cap for this star, and you need the warrior cap at the very end of this star. So it is a very bad thing to lose the warrior cap. I think in one of Grain's previous runs he actually did lose the warrior cap, and it is like a multi-minute time loss. It's like really bad. So he'll have to dodge Sniffits. In a moment he'll have to dodge Rolling Rocks. If he does get hit, he will have a little bit of time to try and re-grab the warrior cap. But depending on the hit, and which way the cap goes, sometimes it's just not possible to save it. In which case we will all collectively cry together. I really wish I grabbed that coin. Okay, now he's not out of the clear yet. He's not going to lose the warrior cap to anything, but when he hits these Goombas with the metal cap, he will get 2 coins, and if he misses any of these coins, he will not have enough coins, and we'll need to do a very long backup. And I'm going to have to swim as Wario. Oh no. Maybe? I'm too good. And here's a shot at double star spawn, or overlapping cutscenes. Grain missed it here. You can break that boulder while grabbing the 100 coin star, and it will kind of freeze the camera, do some funky stuff, and save a little bit of time. I lost a minute to HMC Reds. Oh, there goes PB pace. Oh, but actually I lose a minute on this split. I can get it back. Okay, so a lot of the stars in this game require you to count. This next one is no exception, except we actually have to count here. So the way the star for Watch for Rolling Rocks works in this game is the 5th rock here has the star. So Grain is going to listen for an audio cue. He's going to wait for the 4th rock to stop making sounds, and then he will do that charge double jump kick to break the block. There's actually a Mega Mushroom you can use to break the blocks without having to worry about losing your cap. But because of the activation radius of the rocks or something, it actually loses 3 seconds to grab the Mega Mushroom, then go straight to the spot you want to be in. So with the invisibility, we can go right through the rocks here, and we can also go right through the invisible fence. Now, there is one of those first-person block clips you can do to this black brick on the very left of Green's screen right now. But you needed to do it first try to save time. And so Green elects not to do it. But you can do it for both this star that Green is doing right now. And I believe you can do it for both behind the waterfall stars. Which Green will actually probably do at the start of HMC. Or right after hundreds. Maybe at the start. I guess star order really doesn't matter. This is a good time for donations. Yeah. So another thing about Luigi I forgot to mention is that a lot of the times it's faster to do a single jump at like the very start of the stage. And that's because it helps Luigi get to top speed faster. And now it's actually getting to behind the waterfall is faster as Luigi because of his swim speed. But Green's actually only going to do one of these trips to behind the waterfall as Luigi. Despite there being a Mario cap over here, he's going to do a cool balloon strat. Using the box at the start of the level to get the balloon star. But for now, he's just going to metal cap his way to these reds. And then this time he will enter the stage as Mario. I will not, because I've not learned that strat. I don't like that sniff it locations. I forgot the actual movement here. It's fine, it's fine. Movement 2. It's like alternate movement. It doesn't lose time, really. I don't think. Oh, is this a gold? At PB, that's for sure. Let's go, gold. Oh my, okay, never mind. Rabbits are in the other split. I was like, but those awful rabbits, but no. But 2-second gold, let's go. 235.51, summer best. Don't look at that BPT, that's a trap. 240.51. I thought my PB had a better BPT. Huh. So now Green is back in LOL to do cleanup. I've lost exactly 5 minutes to sob so far. It's pretty good, actually. So this is one of Warrior's biggest contributions, is this blue coin switch. Most blue coin switches give you like, 4 coins or something. 4 blue coins. This one gives you like 9. So there's like 45 coins you get from that switch. And so while you might need to be picky, I mean, I need to not grab these. So while in other categories that you do this star in, that you don't have access to that switch, you need to grab just about every coin in the stage. You don't here. You can be very picky about what coins you grab. And with that, we are done with the second trip to LOL and are headed to Shifting Sandland. Ooh, that would have been bad. So Luigi's backflip has about the same height gain as his triple jump. Oy and so that can be really useful in places where you will at least... I'm just going to do this star first. Green having a little trouble with Sandhop. Jeff would never. So if you let iRock close his one of his eyes during that fight before hitting him, you actually lose a lot more time because he's able to fit an attack in that way. After like 6 open and closes, which is the minimum to beat him, he'll like go across the map, sub-area map, whatever you... What is it? What would that area be called? Green is awful at Sandhop now. What happened? I almost pressed R. That would have been bad. So here's a bunch of platforms that are positioned at just the right height for us to backflip and ledge grab. So the next star we're going to do is another one of these switch stars that is blocked by a Wario box. Fun fact about this one, it is possible to clip through it, but only with shell hyperspeed, tool assisted. We are not able to do pause clips into it. We are not able to do first person clips into it. Because it's just not positioned in a way that allows you to do that. Otherwise, it would be a pretty fast star to do in shorter categories. And now we're going to do SSL hundreds. Come on. Okay, I'm gonna skip the box. Fun, or not so fun fact about this coin box is that if you bounce too far forwards, you will just hit the quicksand and die. And now you'll see that these conveniently placed platforms actually do have a purpose. Now Green could grab that silver star right now, but he's going to come back later, and he's going to try to do one of those overlapping cutscene tricks by spawning the silver star's gold star and the 100 coin star at the same time. So he's also going to pay attention to his coin count here. Now this one's a little harder than some of the other ones. We'll see if he gets it. He's losing time just setting it up. Okay, you got it. Next up is SSL Reds. This star can be a little scary on this slope right here because you have to time your slide kicks at a certain rate to get that fast slide down. But with enough practice, it becomes pretty easy. Hopefully this guy doesn't absolutely snipe his cap away. Not the best, but also could have been worse. And now he'll come back to this pillar and set up to grab the other 3 coins in the sky in one big swoop. He's going to try not to peek during that flight, as that peek is a little slow. Ooh, welcome to my casual playthrough. And then he'll grab the star. I got destroyed by Sandhop in that stage. Just the inside of the pyramid in general. And now we're going to clean up the basement with one last stage, and that is the last few stars of Dire Docks, now that we have Wario. This stage isn't very interesting. It's a lot of swimming, so this is a good time for donations. No, but selected Warrior. That would have been tragic. Still have a 241 BPT though. If I play good, this is a 243. Maybe even a 242. So this star gives you a pretty good example of the swimming speed difference between characters. Grain will do a long jump here to kind of get the first few rings there. .8 gold. And then he will do one last save and quit, save warp. And actually, this time he will hard reset. This is where we get to talk about RNG manip. So, remember how we talked to Toad at the very start of the run, and we caught 4 rabbits before going to HMC? So, that all leads up to this. Grain is going to go into Versus. So basically, he's going to hard reset, which resets the RNG value back to either 0 or 1, I don't remember what exactly, but like the base RNG value. And then he's going to go into those, whatever the base RNG value of the game is. And then he's going to go into versus mode, select a stage, and go to enter that stage. And by doing that, he sets the RNG value to whatever the really cool number it is that allows not one, but 2 glowing rabbits to appear. Now you need to catch 8 of these rabbits. Once you catch 8 of these rabbits, they will give you a key, just like all the other rabbits did. But as you can guess, we can catch 2 at a time. And then we have to hard reset, go into versus, catch 2 rabbits, and repeat. So it's about 4-ish minutes to catch these 8 rabbits. And then it's another, minute or so to catch the other 4 rabbits. So this is about a 5-minute star. There is a trick on version 1.0 of the game called Rabbit Trick, which involves a shorter setup, and you only have to catch 1 glowing rabbit. However, that rabbit has a 1 in 16 chance of showing up, and you cannot manipulate that RNG. However, it does save like 5 minutes. So right now, world record does RNG manip, but Grain plans to do more attempts of 150 star with Rabbit Trick. And we'll take the 1 in 16 odds. Granted, you get to try it multiple times, so as long as you get within 7 or 8 tries, it saves time. So you have, say a 40% chance of saving time on any given run. So the Rabbit Trick route is the same as the RNG manip route, as long as you're going for the optimal route. But obviously, you want to push that 1 in 16 odds earlier in the run. So the route Grain will use when he does Rabbit Trick attempts is known as Early Rabbit Trick route. And it basically does the Rabbit Trick with about 83 stars, because if you try to do it with 80 or less stars, your 1 in 16 odds are actually 1 in 32. So you are forced to do the Rabbit Trick about an hour and a half into the run, no matter which way you format it. The early Rabbit Trick route only loses probably 30 seconds to castle movement. It hasn't been timed over the optimal route that we are currently using and doing the Rabbit Trick 30 minutes later. But Grain thought about doing Rabbit Trick for this exhibition, but after doing 2 races of 150 and losing both of them because he lost over 10 minutes to Rabbit Trick in both of them, he decided not to. So the last time we go through this, we grab the rabbits in reverse order because we want to enter Secret Unknown mode again. Clean pause clip. Because there's still one more star to grab here, and that is the red coin star. Now that we have unlocked Luigi, we can get this star the easy way. You can grab this star without Luigi, both with Yoshi's Flutter Jump and with Mario's Balloon power-up, by fitting through a very small hole that I don't even know what its intended purpose is. I don't think it has an intended purpose. except to be mean. But using Luigi's invisibility power makes this so much easier. There's that invisible hole. It's quite a small hole. And now we will re-enter Secret Under the Moat so that we can exit course and show back up in the castle lobby. Because remember, we still can't enter the front door. And this is where we do our side adventure back to JOB. Now that we have the Wario cap, we can get this star. We grabbed the box at the very start of the stage. This is a little tight. If Grain misses this, he will have to swim as Wario to the other box. So he will use a touchscreen cue to line up this star grab, as you can't really see it with the camera. But it's not too bad. And that will do it for the Yoshi segment. So, the longest single character segment of the run. We're going to switch back to Luigi for not the shortest because Wario exists. And we are going to head into the Goomboss painting first. This is the room where you would do that rabbit trick in. One of Luigi's rabbits appears in that room. And that's the rabbit that you will try to make shiny. And every time he is not shiny, you will lose 30 seconds. So this stage is the Goomboss stage. This star is Goomboss Red's. He is going to try to make a cycle. He is probably not making the cycle anymore. But it only saves 7 seconds, so he's not going to do anything dumb. He is going to miss the second cycle. Oh my gosh, Green, you suck. He is going to take a third, fourth, dot, bonk. Holy crap, this is scary. Oh my gosh, Green. So these gaps are just big enough that Luigi's long jump is convenient. Not long jump, his backflip. Maybe I shouldn't hate on it as much. It actually has way more usage in this run than I thought it did. And then we will balloon Mario way to this red. Long jump into the 8th red. And then there's one more star we need to grab here. And that is the switch star. This star requires Mario because you need to do wall kicks. So in just about every other category of this game, you grab this star right after unlocking Mario, so it's like star 9. In this category, it's like star 115. And now we will head to Big Boo's Haunt, where we will finish up the Luigi gameplay. Still rocking that 241 BPT. It's a high 241, but it's a 241. So Green will kill this Boo as soon as he enters the room for convenience. I don't actually know if he does that or not. This stage has a lot of blue coins. The problem is if he misses a single blue coin, the fastest backup coin is pretty slow. And a lot of the blue coins can just disappear because they come from books. So he'll need to be a little careful to make sure that he does not miss any of those blue coins. Gets both of those books perfectly fine. So there's a boo in this room here, and he's going to manipulate it with a specific movement so that it appears right here. And now this is one of those instances where Luigi's backflip isn't the best, because if you wait too long to ground pound there, Luigi will start his twirl animation, and it'll take a while for him to finish it. But his backflip does line you up right on top of that box. Pretty nice. Green is going to try to grab both of these blue coins and still get on the other side of the painting before his power flower runs out. Otherwise, he has to run all the way to the front of the mansion. He got some bad RNG on the box, but it was still able to make it in time. And now he's going to try this weird triple jump that I still don't know why doesn't it work all the time. Okay, so this next star is Eye to Eye in the Secret Room. Another small difference between the N64 version of the game and the DS version of the game is that this boo cannot see you when you're invisible. So you want to grab the first box you can, and that starts the invisibility timer. Whatever you do here does not matter as long as you get to the eyeball before the invisibility runs out. Green's going to go straight there. He's going to kill that boo so it's not in the way, and he's going to kill it with a punch instead of, say, a ground pound. That way he doesn't collect the coin, because remember, every coin you collect loses 1 frame. So collecting that coin there would lose a whole 5 frames, and he would never be able to recover from a time loss that massive. I'm just kidding. And with that, that is all the stars in BBH, but we have to go back in yet again, because those big Boo Battle stars are still there. And those will also give us a nice way to exit course back into the lobby. Cringe. So fun fact, if you do fall down in this stage, you keep all your red coins. And you just go back to the start of the first room. So obviously voiding out is a time loss, but it's not as scary as it may seem. Green is on a timer with his power flower here, and he's going to try to get this painting star before it runs out. It's a little tight, but as long as you know what movement you're doing, it's not too bad. Okay, and now we are going to go back into the character room, swap to Mario, and this will be the last character switch of the run. So, do you remember all those rabbits we got? Well, now we're gonna enter this special door with the key we got from that door. And on the other side is our good friend, Waluigi. Just kidding, it's a single power star. That takes so long to get that there was an entire miscellaneous category called 149 star created because of it. So that star is easily the worst in the game. You might hear an opinion that TTC Silvers is the worst. But no one will be complaining about TTC Silvers once world record gets a rabbit trick within 3 tries with a good run and absolutely kills the category. I do not need to long jump there. Please have a good wet dry world. This one is very PVable. The next star Green is going to do is Wet Dry World Secrets. He is going to do a 1.0 exclusive glitch here on this second box, where he is going to touch this side of the box and then tap it just a little bit. He's going to listen to an audio cue to know that it did count. Do not heave-ho me. Very cool triple jump wall kick movement up to that 5th secret. The next star Green's going to do is Shocking Aerolifts. This star is actually less than a second faster to do on mid-water level. But also a good amount harder. I don't want to kill my PB pace when I do it. I missed it. Here we have Wet Dry World Silvers. This star is pretty cool with the movement, but nothing we haven't already covered, so it's a good place to read some donations. Wee hee hee, that would have... Whoa. Okay, let's go. PB pace. I had 242.07 BPT. Okay, for Scale the Mountain, Green is going to do a cool strat here called Skiko Kicks, named after runner Skiko Now. He, I don't think, is the one who found them. They were a task strat, but Skiko is really good at doing task things, RTA, such as dive resets, which are a series of multiple frame-perfect tricks in a row. And you basically just, go right up the mountain with them. That saves 3 seconds over going around the usual way. And now that we have Scale the Mountain, we can use the Owl. You can actually use the Owl as long as you don't select Star 1. But the Scale of the Mountain star actually disappears as soon as you use the Owl. So you hold the monkey and then jump a little bit and then let him go because he's kind of slow, and this way he gets to his spot a little faster. Minor optimization.
Time for a Crunchyroll marathon.
Fun fact about this box, it only goes down if it's on screen, so if you miss that backflip and fall down the mountain, you actually have to climb back up to get to fall down. So that's why we backflip on top of it. That way we can keep it in our eyeballs. And we're going to head back up the mountain using our handy dandy owl friend. And this time we are going to grab the secret star by going through the middle of these coin rings. So you can actually grab all 5 of these coin rings in one foul swoop with a Y charge, but it's a lot harder to control. So most runners, I don't know if Grain does it, will grab 4, land back on the ground, and then grab the 5th one and the star on a second flight. Next up, one of the easiest stars in the game. It's literally 4 long jumps and a triple jump rollout. And with that, we have all the stars we need to head to the final area of the game. Tippy. Tippy is, without a doubt, the hardest set of levels. And it starts out with a stage called Over the Rainbow. If you, quote-unquote, die in Over the Rainbow, you don't actually die because you don't lose a life, but it spawns you back in the castle moat. If that happens, you have to go back, pause clip into Secret Under the Moat, and make your way back up to Tippy. Oh, it's slower to do all? Oh, okay. Glad I didn't learn that. I don't know what to do now. You just interrupted my commentary. So you can pause clip through at least one of these cannons, maybe both. But it's just not worth it. So these cannon shots are both pretty lenient. And then you just turn around and grab the 7th coin under the platform. And make your way to the star. And then this game added one more star in this area. This one also requires a warrior cap. And Grain is going to take a little bit of time to line up his cannon shot so that he bonks this black brick. And with that, we can head to the last 2 main stages of the run. Arguably the 2 hardest. This is Tick-Tock Clock, and afterwards Rainbow Ride. So the first star we're going to do in Tick-Tock Clock, we're going to do on Moving Time. And we are going to use some cool wall kicks to not only climb up this section of the clock, but this section as well. So you can actually clip into the cage with this star without Luigi, and it would save time in 150, but it's a frame perfect trick, and it only saves a few seconds in 150. But you can do it in other categories. Again, frame perfect trick like an hour into the run. And next we are going to do the wall kicks again, but this time we are going to be grabbing a different star, and this star is actually known as Sneep. So this was one of the first black box clips found in the game by Green himself. And you basically just, go through the block at about a 45-degree angle. Wee hee hee. I don't like any of this. So Grain is not very cool, so he will not be doing a very cool strat here called Jeff Jump that actually loses time, but looks cool. So this one is officially invalid because Grain did not do Jeff Jump. Ah. Next up we have TTC hundreds. This star has a little bit of RNG, so Grain will be grabbing a few extra coins. He'll probably grab a 1 backup box of 3 coins, and that box is coming up. He's going to kick over this heave-ho, and there's his backup box. He gets that just in case the RNG on the last 2 boxes is not very friendly to him. Now, there's 2 options to end this star. You can grab the last 2 boxes in any order. I'm honestly not sure what's faster. I think grabbing the top box last is a little faster, which is the route Grain, I believe, likes to do. But his RNG is perfectly fine. And now I can wall kick up and tactically bonk into the wall and grab the star. So there's a couple more stars left in TTC, but they're pretty straightforward. So we're going to start talking about another star in TTC, and that's the last star. Which is TTC Silvers. You might have heard of this, mentioned this star once or twice already. But basically, all of these stars start at random places in the stage. Well, not random, but each one starts at a specific spot in the stage. And one by one, they all start moving. And if you remember how silvers work, they bounce towards you unless you are within a certain radius of them, and then they bounce away from you. There's also just a big hole at the bottom of TTC, and if any of the silvers go in that hole, they respawn at their spots. So you used to have to just sit at the bottom of the stage and run around and get all the silvers to bounce to the bottom of the stage. hope that none of them fall in the hole, and then make your way back up to where the star actually spawns. But the Piano Enthusiast, very good 150-star runner, came up with a manip for the silvers that works a solid, like, sometimes. And Grain is going to use that, and hopefully the star will go exactly as planned, which it totally does all of the time. Okay, it worked. Let's go. And now he's going to use that heave-ho without getting hit by a Goomba, otherwise he would lose one of those precious silver stars. This is a 242-26 BPT, by the way. I'm kind of nervous. And now we've got one last Toad Star. This one actually spawns a good amount back from the Toad. It is possible with the right angle to jump frame perfectly during the animation and kick back to grab it, which looks really cool, but is not worth setting up at all. Okay, the last stage in the run is Rainbow Ride. Grain has been known as RO Andy for his Rainbow Ride skills. But this stage is a run killer. It is absolutely brutal. My least favorite in the run, mainly because of the star he is about to grab right now. You know, that's actually just a big brain strat to not get caught in the wind. I'm so happy that happened. So that Chucky can just grab you. Even if you ground pound over the box, if you have bad RNG, he will grab you while you are touching the star, actually. He is very not friendly. No one likes him. He has no friends at all. What the? I literally played that as safe as possible. There is a chance he can throw you to the Tricky Triangles platform, in which case you can then grab that star. Obviously, it still loses time. Huh, can't kill me now. So Green does a really cool fast strat on that platform there. And now next Grain is going to do Tricky Triangles. Fun fact, Grain actually dies in his world record here. I guess unfun fact. But Grain is a changed man. He has learned from his mistakes. He's so good. So next up, he's going to grab the 100 coin star. The last 100 coin star in the game. This 100 coin is a sketchy jump near the end, but other than that, it's pretty self-explanatory, so this would be a good time for some donations. The problem is, with nothing to commentate, I actually have to, like, focus, and I don't want to do that. Yeah, come here. I said come here. So green is going to try to make it through here without hitting any walls to conserve his speed. If not, it's not that big of a deal. And up here, this is a very sketchy jump. It's actually not as hard as it looks, but it definitely looks very scary. And now he's going to maneuver his balloon. There's a hole at the top here. He's going to try to get some speed with the balloon and bounce off of a wall into the switch star. We will take that. I will actually be so mad if I choke this gun now. So next, green's going to do reds. About the same movement as before. He's probably going to do a one of those long jumps that reverses directions for this 8th red. You can also just ledge grab the edge, press R to release, and immediately start holding up, and you will ledge grab the other ledge, also pretty fast. I do not like that at all. Oh my gosh, I hate this game. I should have known. Still 243 pace. And now he will climb back up here to do 2 more stars. One of them using a trick you may have heard of before. This is carpetless. In this game, it is actually just free. There you go, that's carpetless. The fact my Rainbow Ride Gold hasn't finished yet is just insane. Really bad. Now, fun fact about this last star here is that you can do one of those star cancels with it, even as Mario. You can grab it in such a way that you fall off the edge after grabbing it. And it actually saves time in the 80 star category because you can skip the 80 star text. But in this category, it's faster to grab it, land on the cruiser, that way you don't have to fall all the way down to the bottom of the stage. Actually, 242 pace. High 242. And now we can head into the last stage of the run, Bowser in the Sky. We have to collect the red star, the switch star, and then we have to send our not-so-friendly turtle into 3 bombs. But we're going to start with the reds and the switch star. There's a cycle here, a flame cycle, similar to Fire CNOA. And green is going to do a cool strat to make a faster cycle. I believe it's fast. You can make it without the strat, but it is a lot easier to make it with the strat. He's gonna punch this wall twice and do a somewhat off-angle triple jump and wait a little bit before rolling out. That way he doesn't go off the edge, and that helps him make that cycle. Some cool platform movement here. This double jump kick wall kick is actually very cool. If you don't kick there, you will ledge grab. So the kick allows you to wall kick and just barely grab that pole. If I have another frickin'... I'm using D-pad. No more bits incidents. And just like that, that is 150 stars, but we are not done yet. We still have to fight Bowser. So these throws actually have a smaller window to hit the bombs than they do in the original version. So the Bowser fight is actually harder. But we're just gonna count to 3 as he hits these bombs. That is the worst throw I've had in a while. That's 1. Oh my gosh. I mean, I lost a 242 to throws, but like, come on. I thought I got good at throws lately. Come on, stop moving. I'm not dying in this fight. Oh my gosh, I can't help it. All I know how to do is throw in bits. Is that a 0 gravity throw? Oh my gosh. That was the scariest moment of my life. Oh my gosh, I just lost 243. See, it's not that freaking hard. 3! Yay! Good job, Green. You're so good at this game. And he's going to go for a frame-perfect backflip at the end here. And time is coming up right now. 2:44:14. Why can't I have a good tippy? Oh my gosh. So, this one uses new file. So if people ever decide that raise file is illegal, this is world record.